The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning or afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Walsh, and I'm the Director of Support, Training, and Documentation for BNI Connect. I would like to welcome everybody to the webinar today. Today's webinar is entitled, the BNI Social Media, Connections, Groups, Testimonials, and more. So today we're going to be going through a lot of those networking and social media components that are built into BNI Connect, like the ability to connect with other members, to look up other members worldwide through the BNI Connect interface and the BNI Connect global directory. We're going to talk about how to, once you find somebody that you'd like to know more about, how to connect with them and start to establish a relationship with them, how to communicate back and forth with them, how to leave testimonials for other members, such as people in your chapter or other people that you connect with worldwide. And also we're going to talk about the groups functionality, and this is where BNI starts to become even more of a global community, is through the discussion groups that are built into BNI Connect. Just a couple of housekeeping things. This webinar is scheduled for 30 minutes of content, so we have about 30 minutes of stuff to show you. After that, I do open it up for questions. I'm happy to always stay on these webinars as long as people have questions. This is a live webinar, so I am here to answer your questions as we're going along. The best way to do that is to please put your questions into the questions interface and type them in, and I see them pop up on my screen, and I'd be happy to either answer them as we're going through that particular piece of functionality, or if it's somewhat unrelated, we can hold off on that and we can cover it at the end. This webinar is being recorded. It will be made available at a later date, usually in about a week or so, up on our YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. Again, that's youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. This is where we have all of our videos. You can find them there. They are not just recorded webinars, but there is also some special announcements from Dr. Meisner. It has educational moments, short 3-4 minute videos, as well as other tutorials are all up there on youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. You'll also find these on the support site. If you go to support.bniconnect.com, or if you simply click on this question mark in the upper right-hand corner of BNI Connect, this will take you to our support site. Notice it has our list of upcoming webinars for the next few months, as well as in the chapter training and documentation. Again, chapter training and documentation, recorded webinars. And you will see all of the webinars here, conveniently in chronological order, so you can go back to a specific webinar from a specific time and review that particular webinar. And again, this one will be posted up there shortly, as soon as I have a chance to upload it and convert it to YouTube. All right, so let's talk about BNI Connect and, again, the social media components of BNI Connect. Now, the very first thing that you do need to keep in mind before we start getting into the how-tos of some of this is to make sure that really that when we're putting ourselves out there on BNI Connect, that we're putting our best face forward. And part of that has to do with completing your profile. Completing your profile, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I have a whole webinar dedicated just to the ins and outs of completing your profile. But when people find you on BNI Connect, now that's both through the public interface, through the regional websites or the national websites, or through the members-only portion of BNI Connect, how are you going to appear to other members? Are you going to have your photo up there? Are you going to have your logo up there? Are you going to have your bio information filled out in your gains profile? All of these increase your visibility and credibility. Let me give you a quick example. Let's say that I am looking for some services. I go to a regional website. I'm going to go to our test region up in Antarctica right now. And let's just say I'm somebody from the public that's looking to use a BNI member or connect with somebody. If I click on Find a Member, I'm going to look for a Mr. AAA here, and he's in the Frosty 5 chapter. And if I click on his profile, doesn't give me much information. Is this what your profile looks like? If so, you're probably not building much visibility or credibility with the person that's looking for you. Notice that it does have a name and a company name there. It has the chapter name there, but not much else. I can't see who this person is, what they look like. It doesn't really give me any in-depth information about their company or what they're looking for. Now, instead, let's say that somebody is looking for me on my regional website. Could pull up my profile, and now this is a lot more information. It has my photo, it has my logo, it has all of my phone numbers, it has my website, my social media connections, all of my business information, and what a good referral is for me. This here is a credibility builder. This will get you connected to other people. I was on a webinar with Ivan about a month ago with Dr. Meisner, and we were going through some of the things, the searching for other members. And he had a pretty good statement from that webinar, and he said that while he can't guarantee that anybody is going to get business by having their profile filled out, you can pretty much guarantee that you will never get any business if you don't have it filled out. So definitely take some time to do that. Very quickly, updating your profile is very easy and only takes a couple of minutes. Log into BNI Connect and then click on the My Account button here in the upper right-hand corner. The My Account button in the upper right-hand corner. And this will take you to all of your account settings. Notice it's broken into a number of different tabs here. This has your basic information on the first page, including, and this is very important, the My Business and keywords. We'll come back to the keywords in just a second. You can upload your picture and your logo here, all of your contact details, and you can choose which one of these you'd like to show up on your public profile. You can choose what shows in the members only section and some other email preferences. And finally, your bio. Your bio, commercials, gains profile, and tops profile. Now, when it comes to the public interface, the most important ones are your contact information, the tops profile, and again on the first page, the My Business and the keywords. Now, one of the great things about BNI Connect is that for the first time in the history of BNI, we have the ability to easily connect with and find other members on a global scale. Now, what does that mean to you and to me? I mean, I'm a member here in the Rhode Island region, have been since 2002. I find this incredibly exciting. What this means is that if I have an aunt and an uncle in Florida, if their computer breaks and I would like to find another BNI person to help out with that, I can do that. Or if I'm traveling to California and I need a limo service or a taxi service to pick me up from the airport, I can find that in BNI Connect. I'm looking for, I don't have a massage therapist in my own local chapter, and I'm looking to book a massage for my wife for her anniversary. I can go to BNI Connect for that in order to find all of those things. This is an incredibly powerful tool, especially since we know as BNI members that it's a higher degree of accountability being a BNI member than just putting your name out in the yellow pages. So how do we find other people in BNI Connect? Well, that's done through the magnifying glass. So up here in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the magnifying glass. You can also go, all of the social media components are also located under this network drop-down. They can also be found on the My Network link here. So there's really multiple ways that you can get in and do that. I'm going to use the magnifying glass up here in the upper right-hand corner. Now to find other people in BNI, we can search this BNI directory. It's very easy. All you need to do is type in some search terms. The easiest thing to do is if you actually know the person's name. Let's see, we have Monica Dixon on the call with us today, so I'm going to do a search for Monica Dixon. It will search the world for Monica. You can find Monica. I can see that she's in the Louisiana SHR, the closers of BNI. You can see that she's from Roden and Fields Dermatologists, and she's in Louisiana. Now, if I click on Monica's name, it will bring me to her profile, and I can look at more information. And I can see that Monica does have a full profile. I can see her picture here. I can see her company logo here. I can contact her if I'd like to. All of her phone number information is there. Her email address if I'd like to email her directly. Website, social media. This is a great credibility builder. I probably wouldn't have any problem reaching out and contacting her if I had any dermatology needs. But I can go further than that. With the member-to-member connections, I can also look at her bio. So I can take a look. I can read her 60-second presentations. She doesn't have her gains profile or tops profile filled out right now, but I could go in and look at her additional profile information there. I can also, similar to LinkedIn, I can see all the people that Monica is connected to. I can see that some of them are all members of her chapter, the Louisiana SHR Closers chapter. And if I wanted to connect with any of those people, I could do that as well by clicking through to their profile. If anybody's left her testimonials, I could read those testimonials. If she was sharing any photos, I could see the photos. And see any groups that she might be participating in, as well as take a look at what trainings she's gone through. Now, looking at her profile, if this is somebody that I'd like to connect to, I have two different options. Back on the original search page, I can click on this plus sign to add her to my connections. Or if I'm looking at her profile, I can click the button that says Add Monica to my connections. So I'm going to do that now. And it brings up basically an email, and it says, "Hi, Monica, I'd like to add you to my connections." If I'd like to, I can customize that a little bit and say, "Thanks for being on the webinar today." And then when I click submit, Monica will be notified and saying that Jeremy would like to connect with you and whether or not she would like to accept that connection. Now, this also works if you don't happen to know the person's name. You can search for categories as well. So, let's say that I am looking for, I don't know, massage therapist in Rhode Island. I can search members, and I can see that we have 3 matches here in Rhode Island. Again, I can click through on their profiles and take a look and see if I'd like to connect with them. Now notice that Sherry does have some of her profile completed. She does have her picture up here, but unfortunately she's not sharing any contact information with anybody. So that would mean that I would have to connect with her first. I couldn't just call her or book an appointment that way. And you can also notice that Ian Barlow, the first one here, is showing up in the list, but there is no plus sign next to his name. And that's because I'm actually already connected to Ian Barlow because he's a member of my chapter. Other ways that you can search, there is an advanced search option as well. Now, the advanced search can be helpful if you want to further filter down exactly what it is that you're looking for. For example, if you want to only search within a specific state or city or within a country, you may not want to get massage therapists that happen to be in the UK or in India or in South Africa. You can limit it to only a certain country. You could also choose by industry to make sure that you don't pick up any additional categories that might be similar or that might be in somebody's keywords. Or if, let's say that I'm just looking for everybody that might be in Edward Jones, I could search for specific company names, or Mary Kay, if I'm looking for all of the Mary Kay representatives that I'd like to connect with. And again, we can come up with a list of all of the Mary Kay people, at least the first 250 of them. All right, I see a couple of questions up here from Chris, and Chris says, how do I complete this section, and why is testimonials? And I'll show you testimonials in just 1 second, and also the photos section. So I'll hit both of those in just a minute for you, Chris, okay? All right, so searching. One of the most important things that you can do when it comes to searching and also being found in BNI Connect is to make sure that you have your keywords. Probably 80 to 90% of the time, people are going to be using keywords to search for you. Now, if you recall, I'm going to go to My Account, and right on the first tab is the keywords. Now, you will be when people search, they will be searching against your name, your company name, your industry, your classification, all of these fields by default. But most importantly, it will also be searching by the keywords. And this is where you can better control what you want to be found for. Just a couple of strategies. Do make sure that you include all of your services in there. So if you want to be found, I mean, my industry and my chapter is computer and computer services, but that doesn't account for, if somebody does search for computer repair. Well, I need to make sure that I have repair as one of the words in my keywords. Otherwise, I won't be found for computer repair. So I made sure I put repair in there. I want to make sure that, server, if somebody puts in crash or consulting or any of these. One other strategy for your keywords is to also put in areas that you might want to be found in. In my case, I happen to live here in Rhode Island. Rhode Island is a very, very, very small state. We're only 20 miles wide by 40 miles long. Most people in Rhode Island also do business in the next couple of neighboring states, namely Massachusetts and Connecticut. So if I want to make sure that I'm found when somebody does a search for computer repair in Connecticut or computer repair in Massachusetts, I want to be found there as well. So what I did was I put Massachusetts and Connecticut into my keywords. Now for bigger states, like Texas or California, you may want to be found in certain counties. Or let's say Arizona, maybe you want to be found in Phoenix, even though your address might be in Chandler. Or California in San Bernardino County, or in LA, or in one of these major cities that might be different from your address. Make sure you put those counties or cities into your keywords as well. Now you do have to be selective because we do have a 200-character limit, I believe, on the keywords. So you do need to be selective in what you're choosing to put in so that you're found for the right things. So, all right, so people are searching for you, people are finding you, you're sending out connections. Again, if anybody would like to connect with me, just type my name in, Jeremy Walsh. When you find me, just click the plus sign and you can send me a connection request. I would love to be connected with you as well. Once you start getting some connections, now we need to go to the connections interface to take a look at what that's all about. So now again, you can go back to home and click on the My Network here, and we have our connections tile. Or you can go to Network Connections. So I'm going to go to Manage, or I'm going to go to Network Connections. Now, the connections feature in BNI Connect it's really like your address book, just like your, let's say you use Microsoft Outlook or you use Gmail. This is really your address book for all of the people that you have a connection with in BNI. So I have 370 connections here. These are all people that I've connected with through BNI Connect. I can look through the list here, click on any of their names, and it'll pull up their details on the right-hand side. From here, this is kind of a shorter version of their full profile, but it does have all their pertinent contact information, their address, what they're working on, their social media links, their phone number if I want to give them a call. I also have a couple of options at the bottom. I can send them a message, which is an internal BNI Connect message. I could ask them for a testimonial. I could give them a testimonial. I can view their profile, or I can remove them from my connections. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that for people that are part of your chapter, so for example, Angela Moon here. Angela Moon is a member of my chapter. You notice that I do not have a remove Angela from my connections option. Your chapter connections are managed automatically by the system. So as people join your chapter, you will be automatically connected to them. As people leave the chapter, you will also be disconnected from them. Now, when people start connecting with you, you do need to accept their connection requests as well. And you'll notice in this connections interface here, there's a folder at the bottom for received requests. And this is where all the people that have sent you connection requests will appear. So if you'd like to review the message that they send first, you can always click on the read message link. And this will show you the message that they sent, and you can choose to accept it or ignore it or reject it. You can also click on their picture here if you'd like to open up their profile. Maybe you're not really sure who the person is. You want to read more about their information before you accept it. There's also, if you have multiple connection requests here, you do have the opportunity to select all and choose connect to selected. Or you can just accept that one connection. Now, if you've sent connections to people and they haven't shown up in your connections list yet, it usually means that they have not yet accepted your connection. You can remind them or remove those connection requests by clicking in the in the sent requests box here. Again, you can choose to remind, you can choose to delete. And if you choose remind, it will send them an email saying, this is a reminder about your connection request from you. Now, Chris asked before, how about testimonials? Well, testimonials are done through your connections. So if you would like to give somebody a testimonial, first you do need to be connected with them. So you'll have to either accept their connection request or they have to accept your connection request. And then all you need to do is to pick that person from your list here. And you can choose give this person a testimonial. You can write out the testimonial, and once you click submit, it will be part of their profile now. Now, to manage your testimonials, or to look at the testimonials you've given, or look at the testimonials that you've received, you can go to Network Testimonials. You can go back to your home screen and click on the Testimonials tile. Or from in your connections here, you can click this Testimonials button. And from here, you can see that I've received 12 testimonials, and I can view them all here. So I can go through them one by one. I can read the testimonials that other people have given to me. I can also choose whether or not to display them on my profile. I could also delete the testimonial. I can also review the testimonials that I've given. I can also review when other people have asked me for a testimonial and choose to give that testimonial, ignore it, or decline to give a testimonial. Now, you can only give or receive one testimonial per connection. So if you do make an error on the testimonial, you need to update it or review it. You do need to ask your connection to please remove the original one to delete that before you can create another one. Now, let me answer your other question as well, Chris, regarding the photos. Now, the purpose of the photos, now I'm going to go to my own profile, and you can do that by clicking the profile link down at the bottom of the screen. And the photo sharing is exactly that. It's a way to share photos through your profile. So if I click on my photos, you can see you can share up to 20 photos or files from here. You can see that I have a number of photos uploaded. You can do a little slideshow. Another good use of this is a lot of people say, well, I get testimonials from my clients, but my clients can't log into BNI Connect. Well, you can share those as well. The way to do that would be to just save that testimonial that they've given you as some type of a JPEG, GIF, or PNG file, and you can then upload that to your photo sharing here as well. So here's a letter that I was able to save as a PNG file. I uploaded that, and that becomes part of my photo sharing library. Now, the way to get photos up into there is, again, through the Network tab, Picture Gallery. And here I can edit the various photos that are up there. If I'd like to delete something, I can just click on the Delete button here. And if I'd like to upload something into my photo sharing gallery, I could click Upload. Click the magnifying glass to go and find something that I'd like to upload. I can crop it if I'd like to. Give it a title. And click Submit. And now you can see that this picture is now part of my profile. Chris says, so for marketing purposes, are the photos to show what I do? And again, you can use these photos for kind of however you feel it's most appropriate. If you happen to be, let's say, a photographer, this would be a great way to show some of your work. It could be, some of these photos I have here just for fun. There's a photo of my son here, a photo of a couple of friends of mine, photo of me in front of my store, photo of me being chased by a fake shark. So they can be for fun, they can be for business, they can be for what you do, they can be for testimonials from clients. However, whatever you'd like to put up there, I'd keep them appropriate and business related if you could. Does that answer your question, Chris? All right, so the final thing I wanted to show you guys today is the social media groups in BNI Connect. Now, the groups in BNI Connect are really, now that we can connect with people, now that we can find other people, now that we can share information about ourselves with other people and view their information, now it's time to start the global conversation. And that's really what the groups are about, are interacting and having conversations with all of these other BNI members from around the world. Now, again, if I go back to my home, my network page, I can see the first couple of groups that I'm actually a part of. Now, you can click on Manage here to go into the groups interface, or you can go to Network Groups. This will bring up all of the groups in BNI Connect, and we can see right now that there are 2,220 groups. And these are all groups of people, anywhere from a couple of participants. This group happens to have 768 participants, 55 participants, all different types of topics: video producers, logistics, marketing, motorcyclists. There was a florist that wanted to create a global florist BNI network so that they could pass referrals between each other as florists. If you're looking for a specific group, click on the magnifying glass. You can put in a keyword or the creator. Now, Dr. Ivan Meisner, he has two groups in BNI Connect, one called From the Founder, one called About BNI. Just put in Meisner as the creator, and we'll be able to search, and we can find the From the Founder and the Why BNI group. If you'd like to join the group, this would say Join Group. I'm already a member of those groups, so my option is to leave the group. But here's one from his wife, Beth Meisner, about the BNI Foundation. If I wanted to join that group, I could click Join Group. Now, once you join the group, it allows you to participate in that group. I can click into that group. I can see all of the topics of discussion, and you can see that this one is a very, very active group. And just so you know, Dr. Meisner runs this group himself. This is your opportunity to have a conversation with the founder of BNI, and he responds to the posts regularly. If I wanted to take a look at this particular topic that has 6 messages in it, I would click on this, and I could see his initial post, and I can read all of the different posts about passing referrals online through BNI Connect. You also have the opportunity to create up to 7 of your own groups. All you need to do is click on Add Group. Give your group a name. The access type. This means that if people find this group, do they need to be a member in order to participate? View would mean that anybody can see what's going on in there. The view and post would allow non-participants or members of the group to also post in there. You can choose what type of group it is. Is it open, meaning anybody can join that group? Invite only is essentially a closed and hidden group. Only you as the owner and anybody you designate as a moderator would be able to invite people to that group. And finally, members can invite, so anybody that then joins the group would be able to invite people to the group. Give the group a description. Now, language is just to let people know what language primarily the conversation is going to happen in. It does not do any translations of the content. And then you can invite your contacts. So if you hit Control A, it'll invite all your contacts, or you can go through, hold down the Control button, and pick people individually. All right, we are at the bottom of the hour, and I want to be very conscious of everybody's time. For those of you that do need to leave immediately, I do want to thank you for being here. I am happy to stay on this call as long as people have questions. So if you do have questions, I see a question from Will and Chris. I will get to those questions in just a second. And I do welcome everybody to stay for the questions as well. Just a reminder, this is being recorded, including all of the questions. And again, if you have questions, please do type them in now. I'm happy to answer questions on any of the social media stuff or anything else in BNI Connect. Again, happy to answer those questions. All right, so let's see what we have here. Will says, can we demonstrate this in Antarctica mode? Yes, you should be able to. For those of you that are members on the call, Will Gethel is an executive director from the Washington region. So as executive director, I think I have him in a special chapter in Antarctica. But yes, you should be able to demonstrate this in Antarctica mode. Keep in mind, this is still, it is your active profile. So that's not, Antarctica isn't necessarily a test system per se. This is still live in BNI Connect. If you want to do this for testing and training purposes exclusively, let me know and I can get you onto our testing and training system instead. That might be a better option. So again, feel free to contact me after the webinar, support@bniconnect.com, and you have my phone number as well. So hopefully that answers your question. Well, All right, Chris says, with emails, I can have them pushed to my regular email files and do not have to go into BNI Connect to participate. Would comments that happen in the BNI Connect network group also be pushed to my email, or do I need to actually come into BNI Connect to access those comments? Those also get pushed to your regular email if you choose to. Now, any comment that happens in a group, what ends up happening is that an email will go out to all of the participants of that group based on your settings in My Account. On this Gear tab, the Account Settings tab, you'll see this section here, Group Post Email Notifications. Notify me of new posts. Now, if you have created any groups or you're the moderator of a group, I highly recommend that you have this set to every time a new post is added so that you can jump right in and participate in that discussion. Now, to be more specific, this email will allow you to see what's going on in the groups. In order to post in the group, you do need to log into BNI Connect. It'll also show you only the first couple of 100 characters of that post. So let me see if I can pull up a recent notification. So here's a notification that I received the other day via email that came to my regular email. I can see it came from BNI Connect group notifications. And there was a new post added, and I can see the topic name. Now notice it does cut off the post after the first couple of 100 characters with a link to click back in to read more. And again, you do have to log in order to reply to this as well. But you can choose, if every time a new post is added is too much for you, you can choose once per day, once per week, or to never get emailed about that. So hopefully that answers your question, Chris. All right. I don't see any other questions. Does anybody else have any other questions? I am happy to answer any questions at all at this time. Chris says, is there a BNI webinar about how to effectively use Facebook pages? I do not have that in my series of webinars. I would definitely check with your regional office on that one, Chris. They may have something that they can help you out with in your region. So all of my webinars are specifically on BNI Connect. And you can see the list of webinars here on the support site. Again, click on this question mark here in the upper right-hand corner. This will take you to the support site. Our next webinar is going to be next week on March 20th. And that's going to be on the member tools and reports. So we're going to go a little deeper into the system and show you some of the things that you have access to get information back out of BNI Connect as a member here in BNI. Chris says, are the webinars always 30 minutes long? Yes, I do try to keep them to 30 minutes of content. I find that people have an easier time booking a 30-minute webinar than a 60-minute webinar. A little bit less intimidating, though all of the webinars, again, 30 minutes of content, and I am happy to stay on the call for as many questions as people have. And they are all recorded. Technology doesn't always cooperate, but when it does, I do upload those again to the support site as well as to youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. Again, that's youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. You can also, if you could, I would love it if you liked us out on Facebook, facebook.com/BNI Connect Global. This is our Facebook page where we do tips, tricks, reminders, all sorts of stuff up here on our Facebook page. So please, if you could, give us a like. Chris says, what is your favorite part about BNI Connect and how do you find it most useful? For me personally, it's a tricky question because I am a member I'm also a director consultant here in the Rhode Island area, and I'm also part of the worldwide support team here. I'm the director of support. So I find it useful in many different levels, but I can tell you as a member, the most beneficial part to me, and something that I had been waiting for since I joined BNI 12 years ago, was the ability to do the online slips and the ability to pass a referral electronically. I can tell you for years and years and years, I would keep copies of my referral slips, try to keep a database of my thank you for closed business, try to keep a spreadsheet of my one-to-ones, and that part was always such a pain in the neck to try to just keep track of all that stuff. When I do all of this through the online slips, it keeps all of those records for me. So that's the part that I love the most, is that I got to throw away on many levels so many extra spreadsheets and trying to keep information in 52 different places. I got to keep it all in one place, and it made my life so much easier that way. Let's see. William says, BNI America is awesome. Is BNI Connect going to be mobile friendly for us soon? For those of you that don't know, we did just launch our BNIamerica.com website. Now this is, again, it's a BNI Connect website, which means that it's pulling information from BNI Connect. What's great about the BNI America site is that it is a national search for members and chapters. So if I do a find a member search, this will search across all of the regions here in the United States. Other countries also have similar websites that are coming online, so they are able to do the same thing. Now, if you do look at the BNI America website on your mobile device, on a phone or on a tablet, you will notice that this site is using what's called responsive design, which means that it redefines its display so that it is mobile friendly. That is something that we are looking to implement, hopefully at some point in the relatively near future for all of BNI Connect. It is a big thing to tackle, so I can't give you a time frame or tell you it's going to be, this next release or 2 releases for now, or even in the next 6 months. Honestly, I just don't know when it will end up happening, but that is definitely on the radar, and it is pretty high on the priority list as well. And one of the reasons, hopefully the regional websites will be next. This is a whole new CMS editor, content management system, for the national sites than we're using on the regional sites. This is kind of our first level test, so to speak, before hopefully at some point in the near future we'll get that switched over for the regional sites as well. Does that answer your question there, William? And you're very welcome, Chris. All right. Any other final questions? Questions, comments, or concerns? Chris says logo. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Chris. Parameters for the size you can load. I believe it has to be less than 5 megs. And it should be a JPEG, GIF, or a PNG file. The profile picture and the logo, well, the profile picture is always going to be rectangular, as you can see on my screen. The logo itself, again, that size is a little bit more fluid, but I don't know exactly what the maximum dimensions or parameters are for that, at least not offhand. All right, cool. Well, again, thank you everybody for being here today. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us, support@bniconnect.com. A great referral for me is to please let your other chapter members know about these webinars and invite them to come and join us in the learning. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy connecting.